Hello guys, I'm going to try something today. I want to make a breakfast sandwich, like an Egg McMuffin, but not egg. So I'm going to make a crunchy tofu type egg. We'll see how it turns out. And typically when I used to order an Egg McMuffin at McDonald's, I always had it without any sausage because I never ate pork. So I don't have any like breakfast vegan sausage, which if I had it here I would put it on, but I don't have that. So I'm just going to try the crunchy tofu Eggless McMuffin with that and some cheese. So no faux meat on there. So I just have a little bowl here, and I've got some rice flour, and I ground this rice flour up in my Blendtec. And I'm going to put, that's not quite a tablespoon, that's actually more than a tablespoon. That's 25 milliliters. I'm going to do 50 milliliters of rice flour. I'm going to add some garlic powder to this. I want it to be nice and tasty. This is a 5 milliliter spoon here, measuring spoon. So I'm going to put 5 milliliters of garlic powder in there. Now this is your trick to make it taste eggy. This is black salt. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Follow Your Heart, the makers of vegan cheese and Veganaise, they have come out with a vegan egg. I've seen the videos of the pre-testers who got to make a scrambled egg with it, and it looks amazing. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. But alright, so here I'm going to take, this is 1 milliliter of black salt. And I'm actually going to go for 2, guys. So 2 milliliters of black salt. This might give me enough of a mixture to have for more than one Eggless McMuffin. The last thing I'm going to add to this is a little bit of my vegan chicken stock. Now, I know this already has some salt, so it's a little bit salty, but I'm still going to put 2 milliliters of the vegan chicken stock in there to give it a bit more of a poultry flavor. I'm just going to mix this up. And then what you're going to do is get your tofu ready. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back, guys. Okay, so for this you're going to need to get a piece of tofu that is about the size of an English muffin. I did hear someone, or read that someone said that they had trouble finding Egg McMuffins, or sorry, not egg, the McMuffin, what do you call this? English muffin, sorry, without milk in it. But the recipe, sorry, the ingredients on this shows no dairy, so that's great. Let me just pull this back a little bit. Essentially, you're going to need to have your egg be just about this size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this in half, which is what you'll be doing anyway. I guess you can toast this. And this is, you know, you don't need any fancy equipment for this. If you have some sort of a cookie cutter or circle cutter, you can use it. But I'm just going to look at that and guesstimate the size of what I need my tofu to be. So it looks like the tofu, you know, could possibly be just around the inner perimeter of this plate. So I have tofu here that I'm just going to press it a little bit and drain it, and then I'm going to measure it up. Now before I drain this, you're going to only need, you're not going to need it to be this thick. So you see how thick that is. I'd cut this in half. I'm just taking it and slicing it down the middle. Now don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. And about that. Should be good, I hope. Now this piece of tofu is regular, so it's not as firm as it could be. So, and I probably cut this a little bit too small, not quite wide enough. But that's okay. I mean, it still fits on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother make it into the circle shape. I mean, you can do that if you want, but it's almost the same size as the bun. So I'm just going to use this as it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and put it right into this bowl. Now, if you don't have a big enough bowl, you can always change the bowl size, make it bigger. You're just going to put it in here and you're going to coat it carefully so you don't break it apart. I mean, I tasted the batter as it were, and it tastes good. So you're going to coat this in here, and I'm definitely going to have enough to make more than one of these Eggless McMuffins. And I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. And then I'm going to fry that up. Okay, so you have your skillet here, and now I just put a little dab of water in there to make sure it's sizzling. And I'm going to just turn it down to about medium. I don't want this to burn. Here is my tofu egg in here. You're going to take it out carefully, especially if you're not using the firm tofu, or extra firm. And you're just going to put it in the pan. Now, I don't mind slowly letting this cook so that it's not burning, and it heats slowly and hopefully get all the edges crispy. So I'm going to watch this and then I'm going to flip it. But in the meantime, I've got my Daiya cheese here, and this is the block cheese, and I'm just going to cut off some pieces that will fit onto my Eggless McMuffin. Okay, you hear that popping? I've added a little bit more oil. Some people might like to have a lot of oil if you want to make sure all the sides are coated as well. I'm just going to flip this. Okay, that's been a few minutes. I'm going to let it stay on this side for at least a few more minutes, maybe longer. You'll basically saute this until it's the way you like it. I don't know if I'll turn this over again, which is why I'm not going to add my cheese yet. But in the meantime, what you can do is start to warm your English muffin, and I'm going to just do that in my toaster oven. I'm going to have that nice and crispy and ready for my vegan egg. Okay, so you see now that side looks a little more brown than the other side, and this is when I'm going to add the cheese there, but I lied. I decided I've got some Eve's Veggie Turkey, and I don't know that I did a review on this yet. I know I have done a review on other Eve's meat, but I thought, why not saute it up a little and put it on my Eggless McMuffin. So I'm going to put my cheese. Okay, I've got 2 slices. There you go. Maybe I'll turn the heat down a little bit further now. It's essentially cooked. And I'm going to take a couple slices of this turkey. You could probably use 1 slice, but I'll use 2. Let's pile this high. Got 2 pieces right here. They're together. I'm just going to saute this. Doesn't have to be pretty. I'm going to saute those pieces so I can put them on top. And I'll be back, guys. Okay, so this has like literally been maybe a minute. Just sauteed them a little bit, flip them over. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pile them. Maybe you could make do with 1 piece, but let's make this nice and meaty. Pull them over a little bit. Pile it onto your Eggless McMuffin. Oops. You do that. And then what you'll do to make sure all the cheese melts nicely, guys, you can just cover this. You can turn the heat down totally and just cover that. I'm going to give that about a minute, maybe less, and I'll be back. Looks good. So the cheese is nice and melty right now. And here I have my English muffin. Probably I cooked that a little too long, but that's okay. And now you're going to just take out your vegan egg, and you're going to transfer it to your Egg McMuffin. So your English muffin, I keep calling it an Egg McMuffin. Okay. Just put the top, put the bottom. Look at that, guys. Doesn't that look good? Now this is the Daiya cheese, which I find tends to become extra gooey and melty. You know, so if you like that cheesy, gooey, melty deliciousness, there you are. Let's just get a picture of that. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, doesn't that look good? Let's taste it. First of all, just taste of the edge. That crispy tofu, delicious. I'll take a good bite. Hot? I mean, this tofu is really super flavorful. Maybe don't do like I do right here. Wait a few seconds before you take a bite into this. But I'm hungry. Really liking the tofu egg. But you know what, guys? I actually have to give this a moment. So I'll be back. This is really delicious, guys. I mean, it doesn't look just like an Egg McMuffin. It really does. So let me know if you want to try this recipe, or if you do try this recipe and you like it. Not too hard at all. I mean, this tofu held up fine, but if you want to get a firmer tofu, that's good as well. You can make this with or without the meat on there, the vegan meat, of course. And if you have the sausage meat, you might want to put that on there. But otherwise, I've got a vegan Egg McMuffin right here. Tastes great. I'm going to eat this. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.